Dr. Krishan Chhabra, and welcome to The True Colors in Life. In 2017, I had the privilege of interviewing Swami Mukundananda on my segment. I am humbled to say that the positive feedback from the viewers for that interview has been and continues to be simply amazing. I'm delighted and honored to have Swamiji again with us today. Swamiji earned his degrees from IIT Delhi and IIM Calcutta and is an ardent disciple of Jagatguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj. Swamiji is the founder of the JKYog, a renowned author of many bestsellers, a busy traveler, and a highly sought after spiritual master, yoga teacher, and a motivational speaker. Swamiji is extremely active in various aspects of the social media with more than 2.5 million subscribers and over 1,000 videos on the YouTube. Wow! How does Swamiji do all that? I do not really know, but surely like an energizer bunny, he's always on the go. Swamiji, namaskar. And on behalf of our viewers from the Washington Metropolitan Area, thank you for your time and welcome to the Global Television Network.
Namaste, Dr. Krishan Chhabra ji. It is a pleasure to join you once again in your program, True Colors in Life, as a part of the Global Television Network. My namaste and sincere best wishes to all your viewers today.
Thank you, Swamiji. Swamiji, our topic today is the Bhagavad Gita. My love for the Bhagavad Gita goes way back in time. Some time ago, I did a segment on the gist of Bhagavad Gita, wherein I selected certain shlokas, restructured them into rhyming verses in Hindi, and recited them along with the tabla player. Swamiji, I can truly appreciate your dedication, commitment, and effort that went into the writing of your latest book, a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God. The book is commendable in many ways, Swamiji. It has a concise introduction, a meticulous organization, and sublime contents for each of the 700 verses. The beautiful citations and anecdotes from the Vedic scriptures are like an icing on the cake. Swamiji, there is so much of unhappiness and chaos in our lives because of elements like desire, anger, ego, and the list goes on and on. Can you talk about some of the salient teachings from the Bhagavad Gita, how to implement them, and how can we bring and maintain peace, harmony in our lives?
Dr. Krishan Chhabra ji, it is so ironical whenever we purchase a complex technical equipment, it comes with a manual, which is a guidebook on how to use it. It has the do's and don'ts. It also has a troubleshooting guide in case there is any problem. But we come into this world naked and crying, and we face so many trials and tribulations, and we don't have a guidebook for life. The problem is further compounded because the tests come first and the learning experience comes later. So the Bhagavad Gita is Sri Krishna's manual for life, which he has bestowed for us. Like you said, there are times when we are confounded on what is right, what is wrong. Consider this scenario. There is a deer who is pregnant. She is on the verge of delivering, and she is standing by the side of a stream when she spies a hunter, and the hunter has started taking aim on the deer. In the meantime, the deer thinks, should I run, should I not? And from the other side, a forest fire has started approaching the deer. Now, these are natural enemies of the deer, and there was thunder above, and she sees it's about to rain. There are enemies on all sides, And she has her own work to do, which is to deliver her loved baby. So should she run from the hunter or the fire or take shelter from the rain? That deer decides, let me just focus on doing my duty in this moment. She lies down by the bank of that stream to deliver her baby. And in the meantime, the hunter who was taking aim, a lion had appeared. And that lion's roar distracted the hunter. So instead of hitting the deer, he hit the lion. And the rain started at that very moment to quench the forest fire.
Wow.
The deer succeeded in peacefully delivering its delicate, tender fawn. Likewise, the Bhagavad Gita tells us that there are times when you feel completely challenged by your work. Now, rather than allow circumstances to overwhelm you, learn the art of Karm Yoga. This is a principal gift of the Bhagavad Gita. We all do our works, but alongside with that, the mind is in anger, disturbance, tension, anxiety, fear, worry.
Yes.
Sri Krishna says, keep the mind in yoga. Now we all know yoga, this is Karma Yoga, which means alongside with your karma, your mind is in yoga. And then while doing your works, you will not experience any stress, any anxiety, etc. So further, when we feel distressed, we always tend to blame circumstances.
Right.
You know, my relative said this to me, so I need to be disturbed. But the Gita informs us, our mind is of paramount importance. And the experience of happiness and distress is not because of circumstances, but the mind. This mind is such a powerful gadget, it can make heaven out of hell and hell out of heaven.
Yes.
Which means the situation may be heavenly, but if the mind is disturbed, we will feel the torments of hell. On the other hand, if we have our mind as calm and peaceful, we may be in the hellish, oppressive circumstances. But by controlling our mind, we can experience celestial delight. So, Chhabra ji, the question would naturally arise, how do I control my mind? And Sri Krishna has given us the sovereign recipe for it. He gives the methodology of Budhi Yoga, Yoga of the Intellect. Now in America, people have heard of varieties of yogas, hot yoga, etc., etc. And the Gita is saying Budhi Yoga. So what is Buddhi? The intellect. Use the intellect to control your mind. How is that? See, when our mind creates thoughts, we feel obliged to accept them. And that's why people say, now I'm sad, now I'm happy. They are riding the roller coaster of their emotions. Instead of that, with self-knowledge, distance yourself from the mind. I am not my mind. So I can choose my thoughts and my emotions. That is where the intellect plays such a strong role. God has empowered the human intellect with the ability, if it so decides, it can control this mind in a moment. Like let us say somebody is hungry since 4 days. Now imagine the amount of torment that person is experiencing, food, and you bring 56 kinds of dainties in a silver plate and say, please feast yourself. So the mind says and the senses say, there's this tasteful Sweet out there, can I eat it? The intellect confirms, go ahead and eat it. A hand goes for it, and that person is about to put the sweet in the mouth. The tongue is already watering. Now, in that situation, would you say it's possible to develop detachment from it? Well, actually it is. Just convince the intellect. My friend, what are you doing? You wish to die? So immediately the intellect says, die? There's something wrong. Why? What's the matter? There is poison in that gulab jamun. Immediately the intellect took a split-second decision. Poison? Throw it. It instructed the mind instructed the hand, and he threw the gulab jamun. That person who was hungry since 4 days became detached because of the power of the intellect. So our intellect needs to be empowered with divine knowledge. And then we can withdraw it from sensual attractions which really don't benefit us and divert it to sublime bliss, which will eternally fulfill us. For that, we need a source of divine wisdom. And the Bhagavad Gita presents us with such a source.
Beautifully said, Swamiji. Your discourse on the Karm Yoga, controlling the mind, Budhi Yoga, has been simple, easy to understand, captivating, and very enlightening. Swamiji, we are coming to the end of the segment. I would request you to face the camera and for about 30 seconds, give our viewers the message of your choice.
On your request, Krishan Chhabra ji, this principle of Karm Yoga can be practiced through a simple technique. What is that? We always perceive and realize ourselves. I am. Now enhance the consciousness to perceive. The Supreme Divine Personality is also always with me. I am not alone. From time to time, just practice to feel the presence of the Supreme. The consequence will be the mind will be freed from all negative thoughts. You will also experience the protection and the divine sentiments to enable the state of Karm Yoga.
Beautifully said, Swamiji. On behalf of our viewers, thank you very much for sharing the gems of wisdom for a holistic and harmonious life. Personally, I'm grateful to you for another enlightening and uplifting experience. I would like to thank the devoted host family, Gayatri ji and Nagaraj ji, wishing all of you a very happy 4th of July. Please join us again next month for another exciting interview with Swamiji on the 3 H's: hope, happiness, and harmony. Until then, namaskar.
Namaste, Krishan Chhabra ji. A pleasure to be with you on your show today.
Thank you, Swamiji.